House Republicans have officially blocked the vote on the resolution that would end all U.S. military support to the Saudi Arabia-led coalition in Yemen's ongoing war. On Wednesday afternoon, the House approved 201 to 187, largely on party lines, a rule for floor debate on an unrelated bill that would take the gray wolf of the endangered species list, which included in the rule was a provision that strips the Yemen resolution of its so-called privilege status. Privilege means the sponsor of the resolution could theoretically have forced a vote on it. Representative Ro Khanna, D. California, backed by top Democrats, introduced the resolution in September and invoked the War Powers Act to give it privilege status. Let's be very clear. This is unprecedented in American history, Khanna said on the House floor Wednesday. What the majority is saying is that if the President of the United States and the Speaker believe we should be in war, we should be at war. On Friday night, the Trump administration announced the U.S. military would no longer provide aerial refueling for Saudi coalition planes, one of the most visible and controversial aspects of U.S. support for the coalition. The Pentagon and Riyadh framed the announcement as a Saudi decision, saying they now have the capability to refuel their own planes, but the decision came after mounting congressional pressure. U.S. lawmakers have been increasingly concerned about the civilian death toll in the war. U.S.-Saudi relations have also come increasingly under scrutiny after the October killing of U.S.-based journalist and Saudi critic Jamal Khashoggi. Critics of U.S. support for the Saudis were pleased with the decision on their refusing, but said all U.S. military support for the coalition must end. The United States provides the coalition other logistic and intelligence as well as billions of dollars in arms sales. Republicans argued Khanna's resolution was unnecessary after Friday's announcement. They also argued Democrats could revive the issue as they had vowed to do when they take control of the House in January. In a few short weeks, the Democrats will assume the majority. They'll be able to hold all the hearings and makeups and votes that they want on this matter, Representative Dan Newhouse said on the House floor. So forcing this type of vote in the remainder of this Congress, in my humble opinion, is unnecessary. Khanna said it was imperative not to wait until January. 500,000 children will die in a matter of months. They don't have aid. They don't have nutrition, he said. And when the history of Congress is written, they're not going to say Representative Jim McGovern did this or Ro Khanna did this or Newhouse did this. They're going to say how they wrote this article very quickly and didn't look for spelling. They're going to say how did the Congress not allow a vote while hundreds of thousands of kids were not allowed food and medicine. So that's the end of the article. Ro Khanna is once again proving why he is the only politician in this entire state that I have any respect for, because he has his finger on the pulse of how serious this issue is. You cannot look at a number of individuals who are barely being fed, close to dying from famine in large numbers, and say, let's put this off for 60 days. But that's how out of touch the Republicans are, and a lot of Democrats, in most instances, unfortunately. But there is a silver lining to the resolution being blocked, which is the vote. You see, this could be considered at its best a test run of who exactly we have to look toward getting out of office come the next elections in 2 years. And blocking the resolution was only by 13 votes, 201 to 187. So that was much smaller than I had pictured at all. I just thought we had a whole bunch of members of the House that under no circumstances wanted to end another war that the U.S. is involved in. But I can see that that's apparently either not the case, or they're so motivated by being anti-Trump that they're doing something good. So that's the main thing to look forward to. I'm going to see if I can find a list of the various members that voted for it so we can know who in particular is the enemy on this topic. I suspect the only Republican that probably voted against, canceling the resolution from getting a floor vote was Walter Jones in North Carolina. I suspect, I'm not confirming that, but I'm going to look it up and see if I can find it. He's been one of the more vocal critics, I think the only Republican that has stated his discontent with what we've been doing abroad. A man of great integrity, and I know that Ro Khanna is just. It would be a shame to lose him in the House. He is leagues and leagues above 99% of that chamber, and pretty soon we'll have to credit him with spearheading efforts to resolve this conflict. The United States prides itself on being this place of opportunity. Well, what opportunities do you give when you're allowing hundreds of thousands of children to be starved to death in another country just so you can get some coins?